30 plus years of craft brewing. Carol and I talked about some of her favorite memories and what's next. So it's important for us to say that while the brewery is closing, Stout's Black Angus is going to remain open.
That's correct. Yes.
So I don't have to worry what's going to happen to all this memorabilia in this amazing room here.
No.
I know you have a lot of friends in the industry. Who are some of the folks that you have really great memories of in the whole Philadelphia beer scene and beyond?
Tom Kehoe from Yards. We became friends when he first opened up in Manayunk, and we followed each other. He came up personally to a lot of my festivals. He was here for the 25th anniversary of the brewery, and he's just a very good, loyal person.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of respect for him.
Well, you mentioned earlier the Mullins from McMillan's,
Yes.
McGillen's rather, and in an earlier episode you also mentioned Charlie Papazian, and I guess Michael Jackson was
Michael Jackson, oh my goodness, he came here in 1988 with Charlie Papazian, and at that time I had a special Rauch beer, smoke beer, and he loved that beer. Oh my God! And of course he wrote about it.
Right.
And people kept calling, when are you going to make that beer again? Well, that beer lasted almost a year because people.
Yeah, I hear that because I'm a big fan of Rauch beer as well, and people tell me that the last time they made it, they couldn't get rid of it all.
So, I know. But he was great. I judged with him at the GAPF, and if you ever judge with Michael Jackson, plan on staying an extra hour or two because he loved every beer. Like even if I'm judging with some of the AB and Coors guys who are very technical, like let's say we're tasting a beer that has a lot of diacetyl, which doesn't belong. And Michael said, let's hold on to this beer a little bit. There's something special about it. And if you've read all his books, he's traveled the world,
right,
tasting beers from all sorts of small breweries, large breweries, medium breweries, and he never talks negative about a brewery. If he really doesn't like a beer, he doesn't write about it.
Right.
And I so respect that. And then just one more thing about Michael. I last saw him at the University, the History Museum in Philadelphia. University of Penn. And we were having a tasting, we all brought our beers, and Michael spoke, and at the end he said, I want you to applaud yourself. Looked out at all of us, and he said, I've tasted a lot of beers in the world, and he said, you, the American craft brewers, are now making some of the best beers in the world. The diversity of the styles is par none with anywhere in the world. And that was just so heartfelt.
That's great. It's a great memory. Michael was such a fine man.
Yes, he was.
You mentioned,
left us too soon.
Yes, he did. You mentioned the Great American Beer Festival. Weren't you the first woman judge?
I was the first female judge, and I loved it. I met so many friends that I still have today. And I know a lot of people said, are you going to go back and judge this year? And I probably will, because now I don't have to feel stress on the on my brewery. I can just go and truly enjoy. I love evaluating beers. I love the camaraderie. Mm-hmm. And I love the politics at a table when after you get all the technical beers that aren't really worthy to be tossed and you're down to 3 beers. I love fighting for the beer that I really think is that gold medal winner.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and Stout's has won its share of medals out there.
Yeah, we were very lucky.
The Hellas?
Gold won probably the most. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we won maybe about 25, 26 medals.
That's pretty impressive.
Like that. A lot of jewels.
Yes. Are there any beers, we've mentioned it a lot in these episodes here, are there any beers that are particularly memorable to you for any reason other than just they tasted so damn good?
Well, they're all memorable. They're all my children. Thank you. Well, I'm very proud of the Pilsner. It's a Northern German style. It took 2.5 years. We made it just for here, but before it was off premise, and it took 2.5 years to really perfect that beer for my liking, to get really nice, crisp the dryness of the beer. So yes.
Do you feel that beer has changed at all in the many years that you've made it?
No.
It's the same beer?
Yes.
Just a question.
Yes, unless you had it in 1987.
I can't. My palate doesn't have that kind of a memory. So I'm curious because I know other breweries have changed recipes over the years for whatever reason, but that's still the same beer in the long run for you.
I'd also like to talk about the Bock beers. One year we made an amber Bock, a dark Bock, the honey double Maibock, a double Bock. And they all sold. They were all really popular. And obviously, Bock beers are very hard to sell. And the only one that really continued on was the Honey Double Maibock.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. Again, we talked about this earlier about sort of the narrowing of palates and
People
flavors.
want hops.
Yeah. People, Bock beer, if you see it on tap, please buy it and drink it. Lessons learned. Over
Right.
these number of years, what can you share with the viewers here?
Okay, first of all, go back and familiarize yourself with the craft breweries that make the classic beer styles. I really feel a lot of our customers are, they're gravitating to all hoppy beers, and they've lost appreciation for like the ESBs,
Right.
the Scarlet Ladies, like the Helles, the Pilsners, the Bock beers, and even to bartenders, be proud to showcase all the diversity of styles. You can still have room for 3 or 4 double IPAs
Really?
or IPAs.
Or hazy?
Or hazy. I mean, don't you feel that? I mean,
I agree, and I think we will get around to that. I see a growing appreciation for whether they're just called drinkable or just session or whatever,
sessional beers.
but beer that tastes like beer,
Yes.
that is well balanced and easy to drink, refreshing.
And no glitter.
Yeah. You never made a glitter beer, did you?
No. God. What does that taste like?
I don't know. I've never had it. I'm afraid it would get stuck in my beard, though. So Carol, we'll wrap up with just any really good, one particularly great memory that you have from the years.
I probably should have mentioned Jim Anderson, who now lives in Scotland.
Yes.
He and Lisa Stoudt, they wrote a little book about the beer bars in
Philadelphia's
Philadelphia.
best bars, yes.
And they had it organized by like Center City, East Abroad, West Abroad, Fairmount. I used that guide when I went selling beer on my own. And so that was a fun memory. And the first person who ever called me in 1987, the gold won a silver medal at the Great American Beer Festival, and the Inquirer did a lovely article, and Judy Wicks called me and said, Carol, I'd like to meet you and I'd like to serve your beer because I source out everything local from Pennsylvania wine. I said, well, where's Philadelphia? Teasing, I know where that was, but I don't sell beer in Philadelphia. But she was persistent. I met her, and for several months I drove the beer to her in my station wagon.
Judy Wicks from the White Dog.
Judy Wicks from the White Dog
and
Cafe.
I think, didn't you brew a beer specifically for them as well?
Yes,
So
yeah.
That's a good memory too.
Good memory.
I think
a lot of good memories.
Well, I think to me, that's what beer is about, is
Yes.
not just the beer in your glass, but the ability to share it with other folks.
Absolutely, positively.
All right. Carol, much luck and success in the future as well.
Thank you very much.
People call you a pioneer. I consider you a builder because you really are responsible for building this beer industry in Philadelphia.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
When this place first opened in the late 80s, it was a mecca for beer lovers. The first time I came out here, I was amazed. I was tasting flavors of beer that I never knew existed. Fresh Pilsner, fresh Helles beer. You just can't get those anywhere in the late 80s. So it was a real fun trip for me to come out here, probably about once every other month, to load up my car with great Stout's beer. It's the era that's coming to an end, and it's sad, but I'm really happy for Carol that she's moving on.